All right, so let's proceed with this shape and image tool. Okay, so I'm going to delete the text now, and then we move to this. Now, starting from here, we have our stickers. All right, of course, I don't really use this. The only thing I use here is this effect. Whenever you click on stickers first, whenever you click on stickers, this is the first thing that will come up. I think these are the this is the only thing I use here. All right, so I'm going to delete it. Then this import has to do with you importing your image, whatever image you want to use in your design. Yeah, you import it from your phone. Okay, import it from your phone. Could be any image. Yeah, could be any image. So anyway, let it be here. Or let me pick a normal picture of a person. All right, so then still on that, it could be it could be an image, and then it could be, okay, let me just get through with this. Then this brush tool, um I don't really use it, something like this, so I don't use it in my flyers like that. So now I don't know, leave it for now. But if at the course of the tutorial we get to see any design that we need to use, then we're going to use it. Then shape, if you click on shape, you are going to be seeing square first, but then if you click on this middle thing there, then you get access to a different shape. Of course, this radius means making the edges curve. Like the more you drag it, the more curve it becomes. It depends on what type of shape you want to turn it to. Then you drag it like that. Then opacity, it has to do with how clear or how faded do you want the shape to be. Then color, of course, about changing the color. You can change the color to gradient. Now gradient has to do with having two colors on the same object, something like this. You can see we have both green and blue on the same object, right? So that's the work of gradient there, having two colors on the same object. And I've told you the function of this plus sign already, that you can use that plus sign to navigate on your color wheel. Yeah, so where is it? Yeah, let me go back so that you can see where I tapped again. Yeah, once you tap on this plus sign, then you tap on this thing that look like a bucket. That is where you get your color wheel. All right, yeah. Now let's move on. Then stroke width has to do with your outline. Normally to be black, so let me just change the color to a lighter color. Yeah, white color. So stroke width has to do with the outline. Then we have opacity. The opacity is for this stroke. Okay, yeah, it's for the stroke. Then I have color, that color for the stroke as well. So we are done with that. Then okay, this bezier, I use it sometimes to draw some curvy line. If you tap on the bezier, right, you can see a curvy line here. So I use it sometimes to do some curvy lines in my design. We're going to see that in one of the designs. Then we have arrow. I don't really use this, but then it'll give you access to different arrows. So let's move on to how to use some of it too. Okay. Now let me tap on that. Okay, of course this reselect means that, okay, maybe you mistakenly pick the wrong image. The image you pick was not what you wanted to pick. Then you can tap on reselect to select another one. Delete has to do with you deleting the image. Crop means that you want to crop out some part. So maybe you want to cut out some part, then you would want to use the crop tool. Then copy, of course, has to do with duplicating, right, like I told you earlier. Then to front and to back, I already explained it how it works. This to front means you are bringing it to the front, and to back means you are sending it to the back. I already explained that. Then position has to do with you moving it around. Relative position, the same thing. I already explained it earlier how it all work. Then relative size has to do with you increasing or decreasing the size. Then we have color, of course, has to do with you changing the color. We put it on gradient. Gradient, I told you, has to do with two colors. Okay. Then we have texture. Texture has to do with you adding an external feature to the shape. All right. Maybe you want to add something like this. Okay. We have already selected color earlier. If I have this color now, um, let me see if I can. You can see that. So we took an external thing, our feature, and added it to that shape instead of normal color. Let me see if I can see something else. Things. Uh, I want to show you. Let me see. Okay, something like this. All right, you see that, right? So, but for now, we're not going to be using that. In one of the designs, you're going to see how effective and how good it is to use that. Sometimes the opacity has to do with how clear or how faded it will be. Then color filter. Color filter has to do with you know, retouching the color of the image or the shape. For instance, now you may want to play around with the hue. You can see that. You can see that. Then saturation, if you drag it to the end, you are making it, turning it to a black and white picture. If you do it, if you take it to the extreme, then you're adding too much red or saturation to it. Then brightness has to do with how bright you want it to be. All right. Then contrast, the same thing. You may want to play around with those things. Then stroke. Okay, you can see that. All right. But I'm going to off it because I don't need it. Then eraser has to do with you. Maybe there are some parts you want to erase from the whole thing. Then you want to try out something like that. Now we're going to use this eraser to blend the edge. For instance, now you can see that this edge is sharp edge. So we want to blend it to the background. So we want to do something like this. If you extend this to the edge to the extreme, it means you want it to be faded, and that is what I did. So you're going to be seeing that. Okay, let me try that again. Take it to the extreme, and then you're going to see that. So that's how it works. So I won't do that for now, and then we'll move on to mask. Then color eraser. I'm going to use that later. Then yeah, I think these are the things I use here for now. Then let me check the time. Okay, 8 minutes. Let me just use this opportunity and explain the background has to do with how do you want your background to look like, right? So you can use color as your background, or use gradient color as your background. Okay, but for now let's use the black and white. Then transparent, this has to do, yeah, transparent. Do you want the background to be transparent? Then you use the transparent too. But then let's take it back to this. Okay, then resize. This is where you change the size of your background. Then this has to do with the already installed image or pre-installed image. Then from gallery means that you want to import your background from gallery. Maybe there is a background you downloaded, you saw online, you downloaded, then you want to import it from your gallery. Then camera, do you want to snap and use as the background? Then yeah, then this last tool here, still has to do with a background. The only thing I use here is this three thing: this brightness, contrast, hue, and saturation. These are the things I use for now. Then brightness, it means you want your background to be bright or you want it to be more darker. Contrast, we're going to see how contrast works later. I cannot apply contrast to that dark background. Then same with hue. Hue would have no effect on that dark background, but we're going to use it in one of the tutorial, and then you see how they work. Then let's move to this tool that are at the top here. These ones that are at the top here. All right, so the first one we have here is this one. This would show you the layers of your designs of your design, right? Layers mean the different elements you have in your design. So for instance, this one we have two layers because we have an image and a shape. So we could have text, we could have image, we could have different layers depending on the number of elements we have on our design. And on that, you can lock the elements of your design. You can lock it by tapping on this, key. All right, so the reason why you lock it is that once you've placed it, you've perfectly placed it where you want that element to be. You don't want it to be moving around. Maybe you mistakenly touch it and then it moves from there. You don't want that to happen, so you want to lock it and keep it at that particular position. For instance, if I lock this image now, I'm touching the image now, but it's not moving. But if I unlock it and I touch it, it moves. So that's how it works. All right, and then this I too has to do with you hiding the elements. Okay, then also down here as well we have these tools. Do you want to merge them together? If you want to merge them together, just mark them, then tap on this particular thing here, and you'll be able to. Are you sure you want to merge everything? That merging them is putting them together so that they will work together. All right, so I've merged them now. Yeah, so still on that, you want to mark two of them. Do you want to move two of them at the same time? When you mark them, you tap on this phone icon there, and then you'll be able to move two of them together at the same time. This is different from merging them. Okay, so the next thing we have here is this is this particular tool here. I have forgotten the name. There's a way we call it that give you this different line. This helps you to align your element well, right? Because when you start your design, you don't want it to be scattered. You don't want it to be scattered around the interface. You want it to be well organized. So this particular tool gives you different line that would guide you on where your design, every element of your design should be and not be scattered. I've forgotten it. Maybe one of the video I'll be able to remember the name and mention it. Then zoom is about you zooming your design. Then I've shown you that this undo tool is for undo. Maybe you mistakenly did something or deleted an image. You want to type that to undo it. Then this is delete. Then this has to do, this is copy. Copy, that is duplicate. This is size. This is relative position. This is rotate. This is to front. This is to back. I already explained them. Then this one, do you want to write text, current date, sticker shape, or do you want to import image from gallery? And then we move to the save. So you can save it as project or as image. So when you are done with your design, you may want to save it as project. The reason is because there might be some changes either from your client, or maybe you're working on a personal project and later on you discover that you made a mistake, or there's something you want to add, or there's something you want to change. Then if you save it as project, you'll be able to always come back to it and then make your changes. After saving it as project, then you want to save it as image. Saving it as image, takes it to your phone gallery. That means you're saving it to your phone gallery. So on reaching here, you have to change it from default mode to ultra mode. That's the highest quality, and then you save. All right, so when you save it as project, you're going to have all your projects. For instance, my own is here. You can see my projects. So you can see that all these things I have here are some of the designs I've done, that I still leave them here in case my client will need some changes and all of that. Then I'll just always come back here and change it. Then this share tool, do you want to share this design directly from this app, then you can do that. This is the quote tool that gives you access to different quotes. All right, and then this particular one, you can use this to change the size, to export this image and all of that. The rest of the things are tutorial removal and all of that, which are not really necessary. All right, so with this, I think we've come to the end of the introduction to the Pixel Lab application, and then we'll move to the next